Greetings, people of the interwebs, and welcome to another Smashing Pistons video. And this one's a bit different. This one I do some investigating. So, I've even got ready with my special investigating tie on. Like you see, you know it's serious when I've got a tie on. So stay tuned while we find out the mystery of the shortage of E5 petrol. Where the hell is it all? You may or may not have noticed something very sinister happening apparently all over the country. Something that us folks in the classic car community have been affected by, yet probably weren't even that aware of that there was an issue at all. We're of course talking about E5 petrol, or more specifically the lack of E5 petrol that seems to be showing its face in various forecourts. The beginning of the story starts off with me leaving Yorkshire to travel down to see my good friend Alex, and I thought, rather than take the Civic that's comfortable, economical, quiet-ish, I'll go for a bit of more of an interesting weekend away, and I'll take Jessie, the Rover 100 P4. We'll take Jessie down. It'll be a bit more interesting. Give her a bit of a rundown. Now she's lovely. She's a lovely car, but yes, as some ladies of a certain age have, she has a bit of a drinking problem. So she's not the most economical car. But I thought that's fine. We'll waiver that. We'll let her off for that for now, and we'll use it to travel down. So, about 2/3 of my way down on my journey, I thought I best fill her right up, because I didn't want to be, when I got down to Gloucester and driving around, I didn't want to be searching around trying to find a petrol station that actually sells E5, because there's a petrol station literally 2 minutes from me, but they don't sell E5 anymore. So yeah, thought I'll fill up, even I'll pay motorway prices, I'll fill up just so I'm secure in the fact that I've got a tank full of E5. So that's what I thought. So I pulled off into the services, no E5. So that's strange. I mean, maybe that one particular services has had a massive run on E5 fuel and there ain't any. So I carried on my little journey down the motorway in Jessie, humming along as she normally does. Fuel gauge getting a bit lower. Got to about a quarter of a tank or so, that's what it tells me. I'm still not convinced. And then, yes, pulled in, got to the pumps, and there was some E5, but only 2 out of, I think there was 6 pumps were actually turned on for the E5. So I thought that's curious. That's curious. So I filled up just to make sure and carried on my way to Gloucester. So throughout my travels through Derbyshire, Gloucester, and then eventually Nottinghamshire, it became obvious that there was a shortage of E5 fuel in various forecourts, and it wasn't sort of reduced to just one brand either. Between myself and Alex, we'd been to Gulf, Esser, Shell, and Tesco, the 4 that I can remember offhand, and none of them had got E5, but not all of them, because I'd been to a Shell station that did have E5. So it's very strange what's going on there. But still at this point, I just thought it was unusual that I'd managed to find 2 places. One had got no E5 and one had got a reduced amount. Until I was following Alex around and Alex needed fuel. Now I have to tell you, Alex drives a Morris Marina as a daily, so she needs E5 as well. And we went to the Tesco's petrol station, and there was a couple of pumps off. There was a big queue, and no E5 at all. And I think Alex had tried before at a Gulf station, and no E5 there either. although we did find some in I think that was an Esso further up the road from the Tesco's, had some randomly. So yeah, it seemed to be a bit strange. Some had it, some didn't, and it weren't like they were miles away. So there must be different suppliers, but maybe there's just a general shortage, not a shortage, a shortage. So I thought I'll scour the internet, like Sherlock Holmes, but with a different hat, and see if I can find out if there's any information telling us what might be going on, as to why there's no E5 in abundance anywhere. It's very strange. Well, let's see what I can find. So the first thing I came across was a forum post on piston heads from the 28th of April. And he said, I haven't been able to buy super grade locally for over a week now. The local garages, Esso and Shell, tell me there's a shortage, but my TVR really needs E5. Is this a national issue? And then there's a few people that have sort of responded on there. Someone says, I noticed there was no momentum at Tesco's in South Wales. No Esso Super in North Cotswold. There is some in Newbury. Sainsbury's had Super, Shell had V-Power, but it was £1.59 a litre. So there was someone else. They don't say which area there are, so that doesn't help. Someone else has put no plenty here, but they don't say where they are either. Filled up with momentum in Tesco near Folkestone, Kent. No problem there. Someone says no problems around southwest London and Surrey. Fareham Esso had no E5, but Sainsbury did. Had no luck getting E5 in South Wales. Struggled to find it in Bristol, but managed to find a Shell near BMW Dick Lovett. I don't know where that is, but it's a weird name, isn't it? Yeah, so there's a few people on there that are saying that there's some problem. Someone else has said, thought it was just local to me. Now E5 around here for a few days now. Again, they don't say where they are. I don't think there's a way of finding out on here. No. Was told by a Shell employee yesterday that there was a problem with the ship bringing it over. So that's the first little clue there, that there could have been a problem with a ship that was bringing fuel over. Now I know there was that incident a little while ago with the container ship that crashed into a fuel tanker, but I thought that was aviation fuel. So whether it's related to that in some way, I'm not sure. Someone else says none of my usual gas stations have this either. Wonder if Grangemouth refinery closing down yesterday has had anything to do with it. Yeah, there's a few people that that are saying that they're having problems, but there does seem to be a similar amount of people saying that they haven't had problems. So it's not very conclusive, is it? But it seems to be quite widespread from the people that are actually putting their locations on there. So my next little path of investigating led me to a post on Reddit from 3 days ago. Can anyone here explain what's going on with E5 fuel Tesco momentum across the country? None in South Wales and reports of none in England. Nobody seems to be speaking about it. So it's crazy. It's crazy. There seems to be a thing where it's just running out basically. So then my next little thread led me onto Facebook, because there's a thing called Spotted in Tower Bridges posts. Does anyone know what's going on with the supply of E5 unleaded fuel? Can't get any anywhere. So, spoke to a tanker driver today at the Esso station in Melksham. It seems not enough in the southwest or south, and they're running out. By Tuesday, normal level of E5 super unleaded to be expected. So according to that delivery driver there, it's just in the south about. Yes, and then my final little trip down what the fudge lane is yesterday. This is on the McCann forum, so that's the Porsche McCann for them. Yesterday I needed fuel in the 911, but 3 garages I tried between Bristol and Gloucester had no 98/99 petrol. One staff member suggested there might be a national shortage. Why can't I say shortage properly? I didn't know when they would be getting more delivered. Anyone else heard anything? So let's see what other people have said. Yes, I had the same issue in Devon yesterday. While away on holiday, eventually found an Esso with 99 available. One site told me that there is a major shortage of premium petrol. He said it had not met quality checks or was contaminated. I'd just been to one of my regular stations in Chesterfield, so that's further up north. All their Supreme pumps were not in use. Thankfully, my favourite Rontec in Sheffield was okay. So yes, there you go. So that's Sheffield. That's further north. So someone has posted, I needed fuel today, and all my favourite Esso and Shell stations were out of E5. Eventually filled up at Tesco. Whilst there, I noticed they were receiving a delivery, including 3 tanker cells of E5. Spoke to the driver, and he told me that the refinery, and he didn't say which one, was having a bay upgraded, so the brands who can only collect from there are running out. Okay, Tesco can collect from all over, so he doesn't expect any shortage for them. At this point, I had to pay and leave, but it sounds like a refinery issue for a few weeks. Well, there you go. That's another possible reason. So, just a little bit of investigating, and we found out some rumours, some sort of idea of how widespread it is. But if it is that final one, if it is about a bay being upgraded, and only certain fuel companies can some fuel companies can only pull from that certain place, well, that would explain it. It's not very well planned if that's the case. I can't see the panic buying being a very valid thing, because there's not been anything for people to panic buy about, and I've certainly not noticed more people queuing up there. It was just some places didn't have it, some places did. Yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with panic buying. I don't think it's anything to do with prices going up, so the petrol companies are limiting the amount they've got until the prices go back up and then they can make more money. I don't think it's that either, because why would a company not sell you something? They're going to make a profit on it, whenever you're buying it. So if you go to a place and it's not got an E5 and you go somewhere and it has, you're going to go to that other place more often, aren't you? So that's a silly reason. So out of all the things that we've discussed there, I believe the refinery one. There you go. So there you go. I thought that'd be an interesting little video to do, just highlighting something that could be a potential problem. Doesn't sound like it's going to be a massive problem. I hope not anyway, because it's kind of the season for car shows, isn't it, where we start needing to fill up on a semi-regular basis. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you've experienced that recently, or if you even know the refinery that other poster was talking about, or if you've got another reason that you think it could be aliens, or they've recently realised that broccoli grows better in E5, or something like that. Can you imagine compostable broccoli? Yes, let me know in the comments below. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to click like, and please don't forget to subscribe, because that's the main driver of this channel. The more subscribers I get, the more the algorithms like to promote videos. So yes, I'm looking like a nice curve like that, going up. So yes, I digress. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friends, share with other people that you think might appreciate a bit of information about this petrol situation, and also share with people that you feel might not even care about petrol, because it might give them something to do watching a bearded man with a woolly hat and a tie talk about petrol. Bye.